Moikka moi! It's Riikka Kovasin here. Today I'm making an art journal page using Paper Garden printable as my inspiration. For this page I got inspired by this beautiful Moonlight photo or drawing of a lady from the Moonlight Kisses journaling PDF. I'm using her as my focal point, so I first need to do some background for her. For that I'm using a white piece of paper as the background, and I'm first layering these, cutouts of these little kind of rings that I made using a Cricut machine. They have adhesive in the back, so I'm just layering them to the paper, creating this visual and a little bit like texture from the height point of view as well, because they are layered on top, but mainly they will be more visible when I add layers on top. The first layer I'm then adding is some stamping. I'm using this Paper Garden stamp, which is actually meant to be cut out to little phrases, but I love using it as a whole because it's a perfect background kind of stamp that way, because there's various fonts, so I really like the look. Then I'm adding some color on top, and for that I'm using Distress Oxide inks. So I'm first just pushing the pad to my craft table, adding some water on top, and then I bring the paper through it. So now you can see the little ring design more prominent because the two papers absorb the color differently. On top I then start to make a kind of composition using these little label stickers. Some of them are translucent or transparent, and some of them are opaque, and I just add them kind of behind the lady, kind of guiding the eye in. I'm also mixing some washi tape from Paper Garden into the design. When I then have the composition done, I'm feeling that even though I wanted to add contrast behind the focal point, then it's a little bit too much. They are just looking labels on top of a background. So I'm bringing another element to kind of bind everything together, and that is through stenciling. So I'm adding an AB Studio stencil on top and then use acrylic paints through it to kind of mask, in a way, the area of the labels and bring it in with the background, because the pattern is kind of going over everything. Not to throw anything away, I then add the colors a little bit more heavy-handed to the center of the composition, and then add some splashes as the last detail. After that, I then dry the page. When I then had the page dried, I also trimmed it to size fitting inside my art journal. So I cut some pieces out of the A5 size I was working earlier. Now I'm layering some elements, kind of building a ground for the focal point. So I first added a piece of lace and then some old book paper on top, and I'm just stapling them in place. Next thing, I'm then adding the lady in place, and I also used one of the Paper Garden sticker sheets for this little tag that has a saying that, to my mind, went perfectly with the image. In the later stage, I should have waited a little bit longer to put that in, because then I find it harder to add the embellishments around, because I don't want to hide any of the words. But it was a big key element I wanted in, so that's why I put it already in this stage. These embellishments I'm now adding are little flowers. They are from, again, Paper Garden sticker sheet, which I mounted on top of green cardstock, so I can get these die-cut kind of things to be layered and a little bit more dimensional than just stickers. When I'm then happy with the composition, I ink around the edge using the same color of the oxide ink that I used to color the background. After that, I move the page to my art journal. because even though I liked the background, it looked a little bit busy and I wanted something to concentrate the eye more to the character. And that was kind of by repeating the shape of the moon or the circular shape. So I took this tape roll and then used just a pencil to draw a circle around the design. I then add some white splashes here and there and a couple of star-shaped stickers to her hair, inspired by the tag there near her. After adding the stickers to her hair, the page is done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider subscribing and, well, hit that bell sign to be notified when a new video comes live. Thank you so much. Wishing you a wonderful weekend, and I'll be seeing you within a week. Thank you. Bye.